And then there were 4. Seats in San Antonio filled, and it's all chalk for just the second time in tourney history. Florida, Duke, Houston, and Auburn surviving the madness of March and now ready for April. But who will go from the one line to one shining moment? CBS Sports writer Kyle Boone here to situate the top of the sport, power rank certain aspects of what we believe they bring to the table. It's always good to be with you here, Kyle. Let's go coaches first. An obvious age disparity in both matchups, but as standalone leaders of men, who comes in at number 4?
Yeah, number 4, it's going to be Todd Golden, who actually may have the best team in the NCAA tournament field, but is breaking through to the Final Four for the first time. He's came from San Francisco. He's led Florida to, one of its best seasons in program history. We'll see. He could end up working his way up this pecking order. I think it says a lot about the coaches that are still in the NCAA tournament field that Todd Golden is number 4. It says more about that than it does about Todd Golden himself. There is some giants at the top of the coaching order in this year's Final Four.
And the only way you climb that ladder is to do things in these types of moments, on these types of stages. Your number 3 coach.
Yeah, number 3, I have Jon Scheyer. And, I think actually probably I was wrong. Duke and Jon Scheyer has the best team in the NCAA tournament field. We'll see if he can break through here. They're certainly the favorite to win the NCAA tournament. He's recruited, I think, the best team and has the most NBA talent. And in terms of being able to connect to his players, in terms of being able to relate, he's very young, very likable guy, someone who's very willing to think beyond the box. So I like him as a future star. He has to prove it first moving forward. They were bounced before the Final Four last year to NC State in a bit of a surprise. So I think breaking through this year, he could break through and end up working his way up this list.
Yeah, a lot of talk about what Jon Scheyer inherited as the head coach of Duke, and I don't know if that's how the sport works anymore, but what he did inherit is that legacy and a whole lot of pressure of what it means to lead these guys for the Duke Blue Devils, and he's doing it in a way that we haven't seen in quite some time. Your number 2 coach, Kyle Boone.
Yes, it's Bruce Pearl from the Auburn Tigers, the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. They had the best regular season among all teams in college basketball. They won the SEC, which was the strongest league in college basketball. He's been to multiple Final Fours now. He's been a proven coach at multiple destinations. And in the NIL era, he's winning at a level that is very impressive. Auburn is not a historically dominant program, and he has turned Auburn into exactly that. So, Bruce Pearl making another appearance in the Final Four. We'll see if he'll break through this year with a national championship. But, his track record speaks for itself, one of the winningest coaches in this year's NCAA tournament field.
We are certainly splitting hairs with these 4 coaches all being the class of the sport right now. Kelvin Sampson, in turn, comes in at number 1. Kyle, tell me where his advantage lies relative to these other coaches.
Yeah, no, he certainly has the track record. He's done it consistently for decades now. His I think advantage lies in the fundamentals, right? Earlier this week, Rick Barnes, the Tennessee coach who they played in the Elite Eight, talked about a drill that Houston does every single practice, which is the bubble drill. They practice literally putting a bubble around the basket so that their players cannot make shots. That is to practice on offensive rebounding. That is to practice on boxing out and making sure you're physical. So this Houston team, they have just consistently hammered home the fundamentals. One of the best pure coaches in college basketball. People love him. I think he has made a case this season and through his career as a Hall of Fame coach. I think Kelvin Sampson will be the coach of the year in college basketball this season. And this could be breaking through the Final Four and maybe winning the national championship could be the icing on the cake for a Hall of Fame career for Kelvin Sampson.
Yeah, a title would certainly affirm all said prior. And these are, again, great head coaches. But I found it interesting right there that maybe not immediately inverse or exactly inverse, but you talked about 2 of the best teams in the sport. And those were also the 2 coaches you brought up before, the elder statesmen. Take me through your teams right here. Just rattle them off 4-1 and why.
Yeah, it's Florida, Houston, Florida, Auburn, Houston, Duke in that order. And I've got Duke at the top. Florida at number 4. Florida won the SEC tournament. They look dominant coming into the postseason. They've shown some leakage of late, right? Like UConn gave them a bit of a scare, in the first weekend, and then they barely escaped. In the Elite Eight, had to mount a run, and Walter Clayton had to play superhero to bail them out late. This Auburn team, I think, is at number 3, only on the fact that Janai Broome's injury, I think, looms large over that team. He is dealing with multiple injuries coming into the Final Four, and when you have a top 2 player in college basketball whose status is uncertain, now I think he's going to play. How effective he will be, I think, is another question. That's the only reason why I have Auburn at number 3. Houston and Duke 2 and number 1. They're both facing off against each other this coming weekend, and I think the winner of this game is going to win the national championship. Houston has been so balanced, so dominant throughout the regular season. They started their season 4-3, and they've won 29 of their last 30 games. And they're shooting the ball very well. They're playing defense at a really high level. They absolutely bludgeoned Tennessee in the Elite Eight. The balance of this team, I think, is really impressive. But Duke, Moose, this is the team that I picked to win the national championship. This is the team that I think has the most NBA talent. And it doesn't always translate to winning a national championship, but you've got Cooper Flagg, you've got Tyrese Proctor, and Kaman Malawach and Kon Knipple all playing at a really high level. I think the pieces around Cooper Flagg, the number 1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft, just makes so much sense. I think this Duke team will overwhelm and cut down the nets in San Antonio next week.
I apologize that this has started to feel like a AP statistics exam. We just wanted the proof and the work, and you've taken us through it all. You've also given us the Duke Blue Devils to win it all. Kyle Boone, we can't wait. All right, here's a look at the highest point differential in the month of March. This measures the tournament era. This Duke team has been special, amongst the best, but it only takes one game, one misstep, one shot. We'll see if Duke can finish the deal.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you.
Big news coming out of the NFL. A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
With highlights.
What a finish at the final round of play.
And in-depth analysis.
Can they three-peat? Tony Romo joins the conversation.
What can you say about this game?
When you need your sports in a snap,
we're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
Find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.